It was about 8 years ago, early morning, typical morning on the farm. John Paul had left for work. The kids were all home. It was actually Thanksgiving week. Our son was the first one up, so we went about getting breakfast. He had just turned 5 the day before, and he very much enjoyed being on the farm with his dad and going with his dad doing things. And so he asked me if he could go with Daddy that day, and he didn't have school, so sure you can. We'll call Dad and find out. As my son walked across the barnyard to meet my husband, he walked backwards the entire way, waving at me and telling me that he loved me. And at first I thought, I'm going to run and get my camera and take a picture of that. And I thought, no, I'm just going to stand here and look at that and remember that in my heart. And I didn't know how important that was that day. We went on about our day, as it was Thanksgiving, was going to be the next day, so we were cleaning house, getting the meal ready for family to come and visit. And I got a phone call about 2 o'clock from my husband, letting me know that there'd been an accident, and our son, Johnny, was hurt, and that I needed to get ready and meet him at the hospital because they were going to care flight him from the field, and didn't have a lot of details at that time. 30 minutes later, I got a second phone call from John Paul to let me know that our son Johnny had made it. That he had been killed in an accident on the farm, and I had to tell my girls that their brother wasn't coming home. It was one of the most difficult things I had to do. So I shared with them that their brother was in heaven. When I got to the field, it was kind of when I found out what had happened today, or how the accident had happened. We were there with a friend of ours, baling hay for a customer, and Johnny had been riding with his dad in the tractor, but he was like, no, I kind of want to be up by the barn and see what the other guys are doing. So John Paul left him with some of the other men, and they were watching him. And the owner of the farm came up, and they needed to get some oil for the equipment. So the owner was driving a vehicle, and Johnny and the 2 gentlemen with him were walking to the barn, going to meet the truck there. And the truck, the driver, the owner, couldn't see our son and kind of just forgot that he was there, and hit him with the pickup. I can't tell you how many times I have thought back and wondered, did I tell Johnny enough times, watch for that car? That car can't see you. You know, you're not tall enough for that car to see you. That pickup, they can't see you over the bed, and so I'm sure I told him, but you always wonder, did I tell him enough? You know, so don't assume that your children know the safety precautions to take. Make sure they do. After Johnny's accident, we really looked at our farm and how we were set up, and especially in our home, because when we moved, it was the first time we had our farm shop and our home in the same place. So we immediately looked at the Farm Safety for Just Kids organization and looked at some of their rules, and we put some of those into practice for our own home. We designated rules that this is where you can play here at the farm all the time. And then just making sure that our kids knew what the dangerous points were around the equipment or around the animals, if we were working cattle or working with horses or any of the equipment that we might be using.
The best way to prevent farm accidents among youth is supervision. The age group where farm accidents and injuries are actually increasing is youth under the age of 10, and those are the ones that require constant supervision on the farm. Kids can safely help out on the farm in a number of ways. What they do depends on their age, their physical size, and their maturity level. Kids often think that they can do something above and beyond their control, so it's up to the parents to really supervise that situation. The 3 most common safety hazards for youth on the farm are machinery, tractors and combines, motor vehicles, and drownings. The best way to prevent a farm accident involving kids on the farm is supervision. Kids are often overconfident and think they can take on more than they can actually handle, so the parents' role is really key.